Okay. Will it work? Oh. I am not like in the best headspace right now, but I'm gonna try this anyways. How do I like? Oh, I can just indiscriminately go live for 4 hours. That's good. I think I can do that. Try this awesome new blue sky feature. Oh, cool! Look at that. That's sick. And this one, social media, like added things that I used or would use. I think is useful. It was nice when things added features that were good and not just AI crap. Doesn't do anything for me. My life rocks, man. I'm watching the deterioration of everything in real time. It's so fascinating. Oh, sorry. I'm waxing philosophical. Should just turn the game on and shut up. Let's do it. Streets. The last time I'm going to be doing Streets of Rage 1 for a while, probably. Hard is not the difficulty, I don't think. Not good enough. Okay. Oh, hi, Shad. How are you? Hopefully you're doing okay. I think power might be the most gaslight stat in this game. The only reason I can say that Blaze has a B in power is really funny. You know, it's cause her grab pummel attack is bugged against normal enemies. So I guess she does do less damage if you use that. Specifically that. But otherwise, it's the same. Quite funny. Anyways, yeah, we're doing Axel today. That's right. Everybody's favorite Cody, Streets of Rage. So Axel in Streets 1 is probably the most generic character in this game, which is a pretty wild thing to say when this game like has virtually no mechanics. Not like no mechanics, but you know, it's a very, very simple game. But even by that standard, Axel is like basically no gimmicks. His jab combo is standard. He doesn't do like a flip like Blaze. He doesn't have like a launcher like Adam. It is just you 4 attacks. That's it. You got a big long range punch, and then you got your generic little combo. And all of your throw follow-ups are the same. So you know he's really probably the easiest character to play in this game. Outright. The only thing unique about Axel is that he's got a really bad jump attack, which is this crappy little knee. The hitbox on it is not as bad as it looks, but it's still pretty bad compared to the other 2 characters. So you never really want to jump with this character if you don't have to. But otherwise, he's like John beat 'em up. This character does not do anything exciting in this game. And that's fine! It makes this run very simple. What is fascinating about Axel, though, is that I think he's one of the characters that has changed the most across all the games. So I'm going to be going over those changes, because there's honestly a lot of them. Like, this character is vastly different in every single game he's in. And what's interesting is that, like, the other characters aren't quite like that. Like, I think Blaze in 2 and 3 is actually pretty similar, but, like, largely improved. But Axel from 2 to 3 is a completely different character. Like, Axel has changed a lot. So, I'll be explaining my analysis of that later when we get there, but for Streets 1, he is just like a fairly simple punch guy that just does stuff. So I would call this probably the easiest run of this game I'm going to be doing, because this is who I normally play with, and again, he is just quite basic to play. Also, he really definitely does look like they just wanted to make Cody for their game. I think it's actually more blatant in Streets of Rage 2 than it is in this game. Which isn't saying much, but... Oh yeah, do you like that headbutt does damage before his head hits them if you're fighting a boss? It's kind of weird. But, yeah. I would argue he is even more like Cody in the second game, but in this game, he's like Cody a lot still, but... I also think this character's design, despite the fact that, like, I enjoy it on, like, a John Punchman level, I think Streets of Rage 4 is, like, the only time I've given, like, a shit about how this character looked ever. I think he got a really good redesign. He got one of the better ones. I would say, like, I like Adams the most, but I think Axel is, like, second. They'd be tied with Shiva. But I think they made Axel's character a lot more interesting visually. They did a lot with... I think facial hair and, like, the general fit upgrade that he got went really, really far. Because, like, it is hard to deny how much he looks like Cody. Like, it's just... Like, when I say this is, like, Sega's, like, answer to Final Fight, this is just, like, Sega's Cody. In a way where, like, people calling Sonic Sega's Mario is not accurate, but this is fucking Sega's Cody. It's not even a contest in my head. But they definitely spiced this character up in 4 a lot. But I don't like calling him punished. He doesn't look like he's, like, not doing well for himself. He just looks like he's been chilling, you know, like... He looks like a parent. Like, Streets of Rage 4 Axel looks like he has, like, 2 kids. And I think that's tight. I think it's tight because I don't think he does. But he looks like he would. And that's like a perfect metaphor for living right now. That is, like, God willing, the best metaphor for being alive in the current year that I've ever seen. That's what I mean, yeah. Like, he does not seem like he is not flourishing, but he looks like he's, like, dadded out. And I think that's tight. That's how it should be. He's dad-maxing. In words the kids would understand. I love that death sound. It's so sudden, so sharp. But yeah, you know, this is probably the highest walk speed Axel's gonna have. Of the games we play. I thought maybe I could throw a guy into him. I tried to throw. Oh! Nice. Save. Oh, close. Close! Close call. This is also the only time we're gonna be... It's probably the last time we're playing this game on stream. For this project, anyways, because there's no remaining characters. Not to say that I won't do the Streets of Rage 1 route in Remake every now and then when it comes up for some of the characters, but It was just the end of SOR1 for a while. It's kind of good, because, you know, not to toot my horn, but I think 3 playthroughs of this game in close proximity. It's not like the worst thing ever, but it's definitely not the most exciting part of the stream. It's not my favorite. In hindsight, I should have used like the color mod patch. There's a patch for this game that lets you just like select colors for the characters, which I think is pretty cool. So, I don't know. It's gonna be seeing Blue Axel for so long. I kind of want to spice him out, you know. Oh! Give him some new kicks, new duds. Hell, for Streets 2, I might do New Era in Classic mode. Because Classic mode New Era basically works like the original game. Without the widescreen even. It's in 4:3, which is pretty nice. I think it lacks an integer scaling option though, which is a bit annoying. I'd have to look into it again. Because I'm really picky about pixel scaling. I'm such a fussy diva about that. It brings out that side of me. Like, if I'm gonna have sharp pixels, which I am, because CRT filters and stuff generally don't survive the scaling on stream very well, I want them to be even. It's been kind of fun to look at like the rise of people wanting CRT filters though. It's been cool to see them actually be good now too. Like modern day CRT filters I think are quite nice. But it's good to see people like appreciating them because I remember when I was younger, the conversation around like filters and stuff like that, most people wanted sharp pixels. I don't really hate the sharp pixel look. It is what it is, right? Oof! Woo! 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 Clutch. I've gotten alarmingly good at this game. Not to like brag, because I still think I'm not even playing on hard, so like this is like the easiest this game is gonna be that isn't like the easy difficulty setting, but the way this game works is like not compatible with the folds in my brain. So I think the fact that I'm doing as good as I am at it now is pretty funny. I can't just be invincible, so this game's kind of hard, you know? And I'm bad at remembering I can wiggle jab. That's really important. It is really funny this game has like less mechanics than Final Fight, which has like 2. Not 2, it has more than that. This really is the most honest beat 'em up ever. You can't go whirring like Cody. Oh my fucking god! Oh! This game's fucked because like the most dangerous enemy, in my opinion, is this guy. Like the Galcias are some of the scariest enemies in this game. The thing about the argument that these sprites were never meant to be seen unfiltered is kind of weird, because it really would depend on like the quality of the CRT you had, the output cable you had, Because a lot of what people talk about as being like, this is from the CRT, was actually just the result of like a composite video cable or even like a SCART or something. Like, it was not actually the CRT. The CRT is like the scan lines and like the beams. It was not the fuzziness of the image. That was just like the video output. You can get that on any modern day display if it has a composite like input on it. Like, if you've got a big HD TV and you've got like composite input on it, you can see all the sprites as fuzzy as they were gonna be back in the day. Like, there's just a lot of misinformation about it, is I guess the best way I can put it. Because arcades used CRTs, and if you look at any Final Fight arcade cabinet, those are not using, like, it does not look that fuzzy. It is straight up just, like, a sharp image. Because arcade monitors had better video output. So when people talk about, like, oh, pixel art was never designed for that, like, no, if you're studying, like, Final Fight, that was designed for, like, a sharp image. That is just what the game looked like. You are lying if you say it was not. Yes, that's also true! Exactly, but it's different than, like... It's different than the fuzziness people are talking about, right? In my opinion, it is. I'm firmly of the thought process that it is. Oh, well, basically they're, like, talking about how, like, the pixels are really fuzzy. Like, things are soft-looking. And from my understanding, that is just a that's just a video composite thing. That has nothing to do with the CRT. But, like, I can get, like, a pixel game to look really soft on a modern-day LCD display if I use a composite input. Because composite inputs have artifacts! That's just how it is. That is literally, like, a thing. I think the one piece of technology I kind of want to get my hands on is an OLED monitor. The problem is they don't make 240Hz OLED monitors at 1080p, because I know that would be, like, probably within a price range I could afford reasonably. What's crazy is that you can get 240Hz LCD monitors with good refresh, like, with good response times for pretty cheap now. It's OLED that's just really expensive at that refresh rate. But I'm pretty uncompromising. I'm pretty uncompromising with my desire. Ever since I've gone to 40Hz, I cannot go back now. It's so nice. Even though, like, OLED response time is so much better that I think if you got, like, a 180Hz OLED or whatever, it would probably feel like, on par with the 240Hz LCD. Because OLED is, like, the closest I think we've gotten to CRT latency in terms of image display. But OLED, also has the problem of, like, burn-in and stuff. So it's hard to say, but, you know, upgrading monitors is definitely a lot easier than upgrading PCs right now. Like, this graphics card I got, I looked at the price now, compared to when I first got it, and oh my god. It's like almost $100 more expensive now. And I know shit will probably go down eventually. Not anytime soon, but you know, eventually. But it's like, I'm glad I got this when I did. The problem is, once this system goes, I'm fucking mortified. Because, I'll probably have to get a new motherboard, a new power supply, and like... new RAM, maybe? Which is terrifying. Because I don't know how well new processors will work with DDR4 RAM. But, you know, maybe the RAM will be the one thing I skip out on. Because I have 32 gigs of DDR4, and that's pretty good. But... because I got this RAM way back in, like, 2023 or 2024 at this point. Almost 2 years ago now. Oh god, that's a terrible combination of things. I think if all you had to do is your RAM, maybe. Or like your motherboard is... I think motherboard prices are about the same. And I think CPU prices are fine. So like if you just had to upgrade your like motherboard and your CPU, you would probably be fine, to be honest. But RAM, fuck that. Oh man, yeah. You know what's crazy is that they're starting to just like say 16 gigs is fine now. I'm wondering if we're gonna see this weird exodus of like things optimized for 16 gig again. No, like 16 gigs is fine. I have 32 out of like a want for more, not necessarily a need. Like it's nice to have 32 gigs of RAM. Truthfully, DDR4 RAM is not unbelievably insane in price. It's not great, but DDR4 RAM is considered like affordable. If a little expensive. But if you want DDR5, you have to settle for like a lower speed. Which is still faster than any DDR4 RAM. But yeah, what Blitz is saying is basically true. Like, it's not as necessary as you'll be led to believe. Okay, I know how this boss works. Which I've learned doesn't really help, but I do know how they work. That's pretty cool, right? Okay, you know what? The game doesn't give me any point bonus for not using this, so... But yeah. Yeah, so like the main thing with my system right now are the components that I think will fail soon. But like, maybe not fail soon, I guess they're still working pretty well. But like the things that I imagine will give me trouble are, wow. Are the cooling. Because I have an AIO cooler. Which is not like bad or anything, but by no means bad, but you know, it has a lifespan, as all things do. My power supply, which is still seemingly going fine. Those are warranted up to 10 years, so theoretically they can run for a long time. What else? I think that's it, actually. And my motherboard. And so I figure if I'm replacing all of that, I might as well get new RAM and maybe a new CPU. But fuck. It's crazy too, if the prices had stayed the same, I would have actually been in a position to just straight up do that. If the prices didn't go fucking haywire, I would have done that when I got this new graphics card. I would have bought DDR5 RAM, maybe a new motherboard. Would have been a pain in the ass to install everything, but I would have done it. Or maybe had somebody do it. Alas. We are simply settling for a new graphics card, which is what I got like a month or two ago by now. Because the 3070 with its 8 gigs of VRAM was finally showing its age a little. But not really that much. But this RX 9070 has been doing really well for me. Not that I've been playing a lot that demands it, but you know... If I were... Whenever I do boot up a game that's a bit more intense, it works pretty well. That's like the divine comedy of my setup. Like, like 90% of my stream is shit like this, but I have like a really, really good computer. And it is just in case we run into like this fucking anomaly in the time and space continuum, where a developer releases a modern-day video game that I give a fuck about. Which has a chance of happening, even if it's small. So I have this PC in case it happens. I'm not like... It's like if I'm buying Capcom's new hit video game on PC, I'm not paying $1,000 to run it. I'm only paying, you know, the MSRP. Basically. I really would be more of a console person, but so many features on consoles are just like locked behind subscription services. I really only have a Switch 2. And even I don't play that like a ton, but I play it enough. My big beef with the Switch 2 is that Nintendo hasn't put out like enough games I want to play on it yet, but I mean that's just natural. It's gonna happen with time. It's gonna happen with time. Maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe they won't put games on it. I don't know. Maybe they'll sunset it. The thing about the Switch 2, though, is that I consider it a good investment because it just plays everything that I had on my Switch. So realistically, it's got a really good library. It plays every Switch game better, which is about all I could ask for, really. So for me, the money spend was fine. Because I have a pretty large Switch library. It's not like the biggest ever. But, you know, for what it was, or for what it is, it's sizable enough to where I notice, you know, the improvements. Really the big ones with the Switch 2, the big things that I've noticed better, it's like, it's not just the FPS. The really big improvement is the loading times, which I appreciate a lot. You know, after the fucking impossibility of the Switch 1, I am impressed I got a Switch 2 as easily as I did. I kind of just expected they would have stock issues. But yeah, you know, affordable gaming, kind of a meme. Though, I've always considered this hobby to be low-key expensive, so I feel like... I feel like it's just, like... inevitable. Like, I hate sounding like a douche. Not because I don't think it's gotten more expensive, but rather, like... I think we've long moved past the period where it was. A lot of lives. This Axel run is going better than any of the other ones so far, which probably isn't surprising. Considering this is the character I normally play when I play this game, so of course it's going better. Are you telling me I'm gonna play better with the thing I'm familiar with? Ah! Ah! Just wait, I'll do a Streets of Rage 4 run and I won't even get an S rank because I am free and shitty. No, I'm kidding. I know I'm not bad at the game. Don't worry. I am just jesting. I have theory crafted ways to get around rooms that I have trouble in. I think it's all about using Dragon Upper and then the air special for enemy grouping. Also, I think I have 10 lives. I heard the 1-up sound. Just the game can only display 9. Because I love old video games. No shit, one of my favorite parts. Yo, I am dog duty ass at Final Fight. I think that game is hard though. That game's hard as hell. I think it gets often overlooked in that regard, but I think that is one of the most difficult beat 'em ups I've played in recent memory. That game is hard. The game's hard as fuck. It's a really good game, but it's so hard. I might ask Murphigator to like coach me on a 1cc for that. I think that'd be a fun project. If there's anybody that I trust to teach me that game, I think Murph could do it. The guy's really smart. So like, he's so wise. Probably more than he thinks. Oh yeah, the GBA port of Final Fight is quite good. I think that might be one of the better home ports of it, actually. Not like in terms of being arcade accurate, but just like for being like a decent approximation. It's definitely a lot better than the Super Nintendo one. Though I did talk to Murphigator about this too. He mentioned that he considers the Super Nintendo version to be the most impressive version of that game. Just because, like, that port being that way at all is kind of a miracle. Because, like, how do you do that on Super Nintendo? It's a technical feat. So he considers that one, like, the most impressive, but not the best port, obviously. The homebrewed Mega Drive port is quite good. Final Fight MD. That one's very nice. I played that recently on my own time. It's quite good. Though I imagine the development for that was quite difficult. You know, Final Fight is just a fucking difficult game. Like, there's no getting around it. That game is just very hard. I think that, like, it's very difficult in a way that is not, like, unfair or anything, but it really tests your basics. And you need a ton of knowledge to be able to play that game well. It is demanding in a way that even, like, these games aren't. Like, I think even on Mania difficulty, Streets of Rage does not throw as many enemies at you as Final Fight can that do, like, unpredictable or difficult things. Like, maybe Streets of Rage 2 Mania comes close. But that's like a mode you can only play with a cheat code. Like, if you're playing Streets of Rage 2 on hardest, it is still a far more structured experience in terms of, like, predictability than Final Fight. And I mean, that's the beautiful thing about Final Fight. It has, like, the ghouls and ghosts thing. Which, the thing I like about ghouls and ghosts so much is that even though it is a consistent game that is really fair, I think it is still, like, it has a lot of variance in how things can end up going. Yeah, Mania mode I consider to be a very different game than the rest of it. Like, when people talk about Streets of Rage 2, I do not believe Mania mode is, like, the first, like, I don't know how to explain it. The first way anybody should experience that game ever. Because I don't even think it is intended by design. Like, my eyes tell me that, like, because it is a cheat code, they definitely did not expect you to do that first. Or even at all, really. It's like a bonus. I think, anyways. Well, the thing about Final Fight is that almost anybody can be dangerous in that game. It has a lot of variance. The enemy AI is really complicated. Oh yeah, that's another big thing about the game, is that I think mistakes in Final Fight are really punishing. In a way that's kind of weird. I think because you just die so fast in that game, it's hard to even get mad, because you don't get, like, trolled or anything. You just get hit and you die. It's like, oh, I guess I shouldn't get hit. Like, Final Fight demands, at almost every instance, that you trade health to survive. Because you can't afford to take that hit. Sometimes. It just will not work. You will die for trying that. But it's not unfair, I guess is the best way I can put it. It will surprise you, but you can kind of play around those surprises, and the entire, like, backbone of that 1cc is how well you do that. So I'm really interested in seeing, you know, how well I can learn that, possibly. I think it'd be really fun. And definitely really challenging in a unique way. I think Final Fight 2 and 3 are just, like, console beat-em-up experiences, and Final Fight Arcade is not. It's an arcade beat-em-up. I think the Streets of Rage developers were smart to not make it like that. Because I think that kind of format works better in an arcade game. Like, the reason they don't make games like arcade games anymore is because those were made for fucking arcades. Like, it is not rocket science to me. I don't get why people have this, like, innate desire to, you know, champion arcade game design while just refusing to acknowledge that they were made for the environment they were made for. I don't think they work well on a home console for the average person, I think. And that's fine. But, like, you have to understand, like, that's what developers are thinking when they make something. Like, they're not gonna lock in on that. Oh, that's annoying. I mean, I get that. I understand why somebody could come to that conclusion. But I think the answer is somewhere in the middle, because I don't think they were designed not to take quarters. I think, like, that is a foolish assertion. And the other ultimate reality of arcade games is that you were very often at the behest of every arcade operator. And because they are a largely social experience, your experience with an arcade game and learning to 1cc it are going to be very different. But I think, like, calling them just quarter munchers isn't true. But I can't deny that they were designed to be played a lot and learned, and the only way to do that was to put money into them. Like, there's... You can't learn a 1cc for free. Unless you had, like, a free play arcade. That was an interesting interaction. But otherwise, you have to cough up. Like, that is the reality of it. But I would not say that they lack depth and are there to simply cheat you out of quarters. I don't think that is true. I think that is just a lie. It's like a completely not true statement of most, or at least of many of the ones people talk about. Because I can't say all. I definitely can't say all, because if you've played the American version of Metamorphic Force, that was in fact designed to drain you of quarters. If you don't know about Metamorphic Force, in the Japanese version, your health was the same no matter what. In the American version, it would basically constantly go down a little, unless you put in a quarter. So 1cc'ing that game in America is possible, but very, very difficult. And arbitrarily much harder than the Japanese version. And it was not the only game to do this. So again, you were often at the behest of arcade operators and, you know, whatever shit happened. On the flip side, I think the people that... not Gauntlet, that was Metamorphic Force, but maybe Gauntlet did it. The one thing about this discussion is that on the other side, you have people talking about, like, oh, the new video games don't require any kind of mastery the way arcade games do, because they focus on, like, oh, you can get through it easily, and like learning it well is optional. And I think they tend to gloss over the fact that developers have tried to make the act of, like, learning the game more enjoyable. Whereas arcade games, you know, the challenge of learning it is fun. But that's a really difficult, like, thing to get people interested in as, like, an on-ramp. It's just not simple. And a lot of people would rather put a lot of hours into a game gradually and see slow improvements than, like, try to just figure out the way the 1cc works. And, like, fundamentally, I've asked people this question, and I've never gotten an answer, but, like, I don't see how you would consider grinding a roguelike and, like, doing many playthroughs of something to be any different than learning a 1cc beyond, like, what your perception of it is in your mind. Because ultimately, both are time sinks. And they are both about repetition. So, like, you pick what you want to do, but to me, it does not fundamentally change what it is. I think, like, one of the things that is annoying about game discussion online is that people are very, 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 very bad at trying to understand that play experience is not universal. And that their play experience is going to be different than somebody else's almost entirely. And so their, like, core values and what they enjoy about video games and why they enjoy stuff about games is gonna heavily vary. Heavily, it's like not even close. And I think people online with games criticism, at least outside of the critic space, funny enough, I think they wield taste like a hammer. Is the way I've put it. Does that sound like it makes sense? I feel like it does, right? Like, it feels like taste is a cudgel now when it comes to online game discussion, and it's really nauseating. I don't like it. And that's not... It's like super lame. It's super lame because it flattens out how people talk about these. I'm writing about this tomorrow. I'm seriously, like, sitting down tomorrow morning and, like, grinding out this Mega Man Zero article because playing... I have to thank Mega Man Zero for a lot of things, that franchise. The most of it is just, like, reshaping how I think about games critically. I think, like, that changed me as, as a person that plays video games. That completely changed my insight. But talking about, like, looking at the way people talk about games now, I'm like, God, this is so fucking exhausting. Everything has to be the best ever or the worst ever. If you play like arcade-like games, you are a better gamer. New games don't have the juice, the challenge. And, like, people are, like, just ignoring the value of play experience and what developers are trying to do. They're not empathizing at all. They're not empathizing at all with, like, the way developers want to try and experiment and do things. Video games have to change. Everything changes over time. Nothing can stay the same forever. These arcade games wouldn't be charming if this is all they did. You can't survive and subsist on repetition. It's impossible. It's like, it's not sustainable. And while I don't like, you know, modern day gacha games or whatever, I don't think that is the only modern day video game experience. I don't know, I just think it's very annoying. It's very, very exhausting. And it's not helped by the way people have pushed game critics out of the space actively. I truly, truly believe that people have straight up pushed game critics and game journalism out of the space and have more or less replaced it with influencers and, like, video essay people. And I don't think that those people do not offer anything good, but I think they serve a different purpose, and they are not a substitution for that. They are like a supplement. They are a separate thing. The world needs balance, right? Like, okay, but, like, see, that might be... That's all video essays are, too. Like, if you look at it cynically like that, that's always what it's gonna be. In my eyes, anyways. Everything's an ad, technically. But, like... Game magazines, yes. But I think, like, online game journalism spaces dared to ask, like, very basic sociological questions, like, a decade ago and got, like, so flamed that they stopped caring about their writers, and now we're here. Like, that might be, like, a really, really big simplification of what happened, but, like, that, in my eyes, that is... Okay, so does New Era have... I can't find it. Well, I guess they don't, so I'll have to play on a... So check it out, this is Streets of Rage 2 New Era, but I'm playing the classic mode. Yeah, I just gotta get the capture up, hold up. Will it hook is the better question. There we go. this is the classic mode, so it's pretty close to the regular experience. But you can play as Pink Axel, so we're doing that. Oh yeah, so we still can't do like 3 hits into Grand Upper there. You see it doesn't combo. I also think that, like, game critics have had a uniquely difficult... Okay, I should probably talk about Axel before I talk about this shit. Hold up. So Axel in this game is a very different character. They cut his jab in half, they made it twice as fast, and then they gave him a bunch of shitty moves, and then also the best character in the game, which is his blitz. Like, I think Axel has the worst set of throws, probably overall the worst jump attacks in the game. Not a very good back attack. An okay defensive special, but nothing crazy. Probably the worst offensive special in the game. Maybe next to Blazes, it might be a little bit better. But he has this move. He has his blitz. This single-handedly makes this guy, like, the easiest character in the game to play, and also probably, like, the best for general use. This move alone, and, like, his jab, and that's it. You really only need 2 things to play this character well. Sometimes you can use back throw like this. This is an okay throw. But, like, that's about it. So Axel did change a lot in this game. I think they wanted him to be really well-rounded and they kind of fucked it up, but simultaneously accidentally worked it out with his blitz. Because Axel's blitz is just single-handedly the fucking greatest move ever. Yeah, he is actually just the jab guy in this game. It is not an exaggeration to say that, like, you're doing most of the game like this. And that. Oh my god. Blitz the... You're not even wrong. I think, like, that might be one of the most, like, pervasive problems, but yeah, for sure. I appreciate that the classic mode in this even has, like, the audio cutoffs that the original game would have. That's kind of neat. I'm getting fucked by this guy. What the hell? I'm getting cooked. I'm getting sauteed. He's beating my ass. Oh yeah, there's a pickup button in this game. Forgot about that. That's the one other change. Oh yeah, you want to see the worst forward throw in the game? The headbutt really sucks. I would not recommend using it in this game. It's okay, Sana. Oh. I've had days like this too. In fact, I spent most of the pre-stream crashing out. For anybody who read the news for like any amount of seconds today, you would understand. So like the entire build up to this stream was like I wanted to stream at 6:30 and then I like opened up the news, scrolled, and like progressively just kept going like fuck, what? And it didn't stop until like 7:30. Oh! At which point I was then like, yeah, I guess it's fine. But like, for as complicated as games journalism is, and how I definitely think they should be held like accountable for stuff, I think ostensibly not having it makes things worse. And like right now we're seeing like a huge like vacuum. And I think the thing that I noticed the most is that, like, if you write about video games, you are very often punished for trying. Which is just really depressing, but, like, putting in effort to, like, maybe connect the game to anything relevant culturally, if the game doesn't, like, beat you over the head with its theming like a hammer, people just get really upset for some reason. Like, Metal Gear Solid 2 is not the only video game that had something to say about things. It's fine. Games can say stuff. It's fine. You can let them talk. You can let the creator have a voice. I think it's fine. They're not going to be upset. But, you know, whatever. It's a long conversation I want to have tomorrow on an article I'm writing. That 10 people will read, but those 10 people will be very happy with what they read. That's what I think. I would like to believe that, at least. I mean, everybody thinks of game reviews. Yeah, that's true. Reviews are, like, one aspect of game journalism. But, like, whenever a game reviewer wants to make a game review, like, more personal, they get, like, punished for it. Like, oh, I'm gonna try, like, to connect this game to something in my life or in the world. And people are just like, when you talk about the mechanics, and it's like, you can fucking look that up and find, like, 17 million reviews that do that. And, like, obviously every game I've reviewed, I don't really have much to connect it to like that. But if I did, I'd certainly try. I think some people have gotten really good at doing this in a way that people are more accepting of. But I think, like, people should just be accepting of the effort and not, like, waiting for it to be perfect, because, like, they'll never get to that point if you fucking shut them out of the opportunity for trying. Like, it's self-explanatory. You can't get better or good at something if you're stopped from doing it. Oh, did it soft lock? What? Oh, okay. Like, Tim Rogers, I think, is like, what I consider that guy, you know, basically one of the few people who I know could just say just about anything connected to anything in real life, and people would nod their head. And hell, I'm fucking people. I think that guy's got some interesting thoughts and insights. But, like, it shouldn't have to be that for people to accept it. And I think whether people want to admit it or not, they are responsible for the environment that we are in. You cannot absolve responsibility from yourself. Like, if we are truly in a slop era, you have to consider that people have been slop enablers for literally a decade before right now, so you get what you fucking ask for. That's really what it is. Oh god. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's true of writing anything, though, right? I don't disagree with that. But I think that's just part of what putting yourself out there means, yeah. Which is why I heavily encourage a personal approach, right? The experience you have matters so much more than, like, the technical aspect in a lot of ways when it comes to a game review. And, like, the technical aspects of a game are going to affect your experience, but they're not the only thing. Which is why I can't look at games as just mechanical like that. I think that's, like, a faulty way of looking at them. Like, it's utilitarian, and I don't think it helps. Where oftentimes I think the best approach to talking about games is talking about what they made you feel. You know, I wrote about Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I wrote about how it made me, like, feel. It wasn't like a story thing, so I basically talked about the construction of the game, but, like, it's complicated. It's complicated and hard. And I don't think if I wrote that review today, it would be the same as what I wrote a couple months ago, but, you know, it is what it is. But I just think, like, authenticity has been regularly punished. No, I didn't think I'd end up talking about real shit, but, you know, it's kind of fun. It's fun to do sometimes. I've already analyzed Axel's moveset, so I suppose it's only appropriate. It is interesting how much this character changed, though. Because in Streets of Rage 3, he's also completely different again. I think Axel is, like, different to a vast extent in every game. Like, he has not been consistent at all. I think Blaze... So far in this project, what I've learned is that I think Blaze is the most consistent character. Really? Oh, I have a back attack button. Is that really more damage than... Hold on. I don't know if it's more damage than Grand Upper, isn't it? So this game has a back attack button, Blitz. I was trying to do that hold thing. Oh, it's more than the normal combo. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I was gonna say, it doesn't sound like it'd do more than that, but that's pretty handy. His normal combo works really weird too, I think. That's pretty neat. So So the double kick is like weird. Because the activation for it is like, it's like a timing thing. You have to like time the final input. But it's not a match. It's a specific window. This character is really interesting. They clearly tried to give him like a lot of unique stuff. It's just that what's good is so good that you almost never tap into it sometimes. Where I think like the character that has a lot of technical aspects that you actually have to use is Max. I think Max is the strongest character in this game, but I also think he is, by a pretty big margin, the hardest to play effectively. I think Blaze is like a little easier, but she's like so poopy that she's probably harder to beat the game with, even when you know what you're doing. But when it comes to just like playing the game, she's easier. Like, I think Max is probably the hardest character to play in the game, overall. You just need to be, like, so ahead of whatever's happening on the screen at all times. But the nice thing about Max is that if you can be that, if you can be ahead of the game, you are playing by far the most effective character. So like, there is a big reward for it. Which is what makes it feel easier than like Blaze, where like, if you get good at Blaze, you're playing probably the worst character in the game anyways, so you don't really... You don't feel powerful, you just feel like you're surviving. But I think Blaze is, like, let down by the mechanics. Like, all the little ways this game works, I think, hurts her. Whereas, like, her moveset is very similar in 3, and she's significantly better in that game. Like, way, way better. Oh! Jank-ass hitbox. Oh! Oh! So, like, that's, like, the only good move she has. And, like, her pipe attack is okay, too. Anything else, and you're just, like, asking to lose. Basically. Like, she just has so much janky fucking shit in this game. But her jump kicks and her throws are good. So it's not all bad. Nice. Unfortunate. This boss is a real prick, but... I can't hit him out of that, I guess. This is one of my least favorite boss fights in this game. There we go. Oh yeah, her back attack is solid. Yeah, I think the strat for Zamza is that you do like jump defensive special and then you punish the DP. But I don't know, I'm really bad at doing that. Because the big thing about defensive special in this game, and like what really differentiates it from Final Fight in a really big way, outside of Mania Mode where this comes up a little less, but still, I guess it still technically still comes up, but because defensive special doesn't drain health unless it hits, you can use it really evasively. In ways you would not be able to in Final Fight, because in Final Fight it just uses health no matter what. Which has its own trade-offs and design implications. You know, it's not necessarily a matter of better or worse, but it does change things. I love how slow these Donovan swing the pipe. I think the Donovan pipe swing might be the most buffed enemy move going from 2 to 3, now that I really think about it. Like, cause Streets of Rage 3 Donovan pipe swing is like twice as fast. It's so fast. Yeah, this is a really impressive, like, remake of Streets of Rage 2. Mostly because it's, I believe, completely accurate, except it fixes, some of the slowdown and some of the input dropping that would happen in 2. Alongside having some small control improvements, like a pickup button and a back attack button. Nothing that Streets of Rage 3 didn't have beyond the pickup button, I would say. Because Streets of Rage 3 had that dedicated back attack button as well. Which is good, because when we get to one of these Streets of Rage 3 exclusive characters, that back attack is real important. I'm not looking forward to Rue for this. I did test that character out a little bit. God, they're so fucking ass. They just do no damage. I'll get to it when I get there. I'll talk about that character when I play 3 with them. I think the easiest Rue gameplay is gonna be in Streets of Rage 4. Because they gave that guy damage in that game. I don't even think they made Rue that good in Streets of Rage Remake, if I'm being honest. Which is the second game I have to play him in. Like, Remake is very, very faithful to the original. For better and for worse, and it's for worse in terms of Rue's effectiveness, I would say. Oh, really? For the Super... I didn't know that. I was almost positive it happened on Whiff anyways, but... Good to know. Going back to Final Fight, though, I am kind of excited to ask Murph about that 1cc. If he shows up in chat tonight, which is a possibility, every now and then he floats in, says hi. I will just ask him here, but... That would be a really fun stream on my channel, I think, to have him coach me through that. And teach me the game, because I'm genuinely really interested in learning to play Final Fight well. I think Final Fight is probably still in my top 10 beat-em-ups of all time. Because that game is not... That game, it's impossible to describe how amazing that game is for the time it came out. Like, the quality of it, you could convince me that beyond the audio, that game came out 5 years after it did, and I'd believe you. And what's really ridiculous about Final Fight is that Capcom just, like, basically redefined the entire beat-em-up genre. And then, literally, 2 years later, they made Street Fighter II The World Warrior. So within the span of about 3 years, they pretty much invented 2 genres. Because I think beat-em-ups are still beholden to, like, Final Fight rules. Even now. And if a game doesn't follow them, people make note of it. It's considered strange. Like, not by the exact rules of Final Fight, but, like, by its baseline stuff. Like, throws must be invincible, you need a Super Joy. These are things Final Fight had. Double Dragon didn't fucking have that. Double Dragon had other things, it did not have that. Okay, I'm gonna try something for this guy. Oh my god. Yo, the shimmy! Oh fuck, okay, I think that works if I have to time it. There we go. Yeah, he's gonna delay it. You have to let him recover. There we go. Yeah. Techno's beat-em-ups kind of just stopped existing. Well, not stopped, but like they were made a lot less. Yeah. Like Final Fight came out and everybody was like, "Oh, that's just how we got to do it now," and they were kind of right. Like, I think the other biggest lie about Final Fight ever is how easy the jab infinite looks. That shit's actually really hard. The Cody Infinite in Final Fight takes like finesse. I'm still not perfectly consistent at it. There's some weirdness with like the hit stop too sometimes. You have to just account for. Yeah, Final Fight, just an incredible game. For the time it came out, especially. So, like, I consider it in my top 10 beat-em-ups. I would probably put it, like, around the back half, like, early on, like, around, like, 10 to 7 or something. Maybe even, like, 9 or 10. But I think it has to be there. I just can't not put it there, knowing everything I do about it. Just an incredible game. An incredible, incredible game. Oh god, doing that on fucking stick. Yeah. A lot easier to do on a D-pad or even like a hitbox or something. Well, the sound of Final Fight is interesting. Because, like, I think the audio is, like, probably the worst part about that game, but I don't think I dislike it so much as I think it is an acquired taste, and kind of hard to sell people on the sound of that game. Just because of, It's got the same thing going on as, like, Ghouls and Ghosts, I think, where sometimes it can be just a little hard on the ears. It is certainly charming. And I think it adds to the vibe of the game really well. But I'm a big fan of the Double Impact remixes. I think those are all really good. And they preserve that spirit while sounding a little cleaner, easier on the ears. You're sound sensitive. At the same time, though, I think the Final Fight sound that plays when those guys kick a barrel is maybe one of the funniest video game sounds ever. That shit sounds like every utensil in the kitchen falling over at once. It's great. Like, they just dropped every piece of Tupperware in the recording studio and said that's what we're using. Oh fuck. There's a guy that's gonna spawn here. It's gonna make me sad. Why'd I do that? Whatever. Oh, he jabbed me! I was gonna... Yeah. Oh, shit. No. You know, like, the strat for Jet is that you want to bait him down with, like, a... I tried to blitz. You want to bait him down to do, like, attempt the grab, and then you want to do, like, a downward, like, jump attack or something to combo him. Here we go. I just whiff punished. Different set of fundamentals. Alright, here's, like, the worst screen ever in Remake. They gotta make Streets of Rage Remake V5.3 where they fix every little problem I had with it and also reduce the flashing and screen shake. Unless that's a hidden option or an option I could have toggled in 5.2 and I just missed it. But I know they make the explosions like turn the screen red and like shake the screen. And it's really distracting and annoying. Like the original game knew to just shake the screen a little. All I would do in Remake is like make Grand Upper invincible and like make the enemy AI less generic. Oh fuck. Oh! What a champion. Yeah, I guess Sierra, the absolute GOAT. That's funny. To be fair, that barrel sound is really loud in the original game, too. If I'm not mistaken, it's one of the loudest sounds in Final Fight. Better watch out for Balloon. Oh, Streets of Rage Remake, yeah. It is so fucking loud. It is too loud. It's too loud. And keep in mind, I like Streets of Rage Remake a lot. I like it more than 3 and 1, probably. Which doesn't sound like I'm saying a lot, but I like all those games a good bit, so... Okay, I have to get the timing right on that, but I know that's what you want to do. You want to be like... What the fuck? I hit a Galcia back there. Shoutouts to the R-Bear invincibility period there, by the way. Okay. Ooh! What a meaty. Oh, what a champion. What the... Whoa, 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 whoa. This boss is like the one I'm the worst at fighting. He makes sense to me, he's just like fucking hard. And like really unpredictable, I think anyways. In general, I think my least favorite thing about Streets of Rage as like a franchise is probably the boss fights. I think they're still they're okay in 4, but I think they're still just not the most stellar part of the game. I think the levels are noticeably better. Which is like kind of true of almost every beat 'em up ever, but in particular, Streets of Rage, I notice it a lot. That's because like the quality of the enemy combat is really good, so... This is probably going to be a really breezy 1cc on hard though. I'm looking at my lives total. This is not going to be... It's going to be pretty low stress. At 9 lives right here, which is pretty good. I think I'm actually at more like 10. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for implying that. My bad, dude. This screen's kind of notable because there's like no pickups on it at all. Not even just that view, I just think like the bosses in old Streets of Rage are just like, here's this move with a shitload of iframes that you have to just play around all the time, and like you do like the thing that works. And then in Streets of Rage 4, it's like, if you don't TOD the boss fight, there's just either a lot of armor or like dumb wake-up shit, yeah, like the Chad just talked about, where you have to wait out armor or wake-ups. It's not like the worst thing ever, but it could be better. I think Absolem definitely looked like it improved on that aspect a lot. But like, please, call me surprised that Guard Crush Games, like, are the fucking best to ever do it. Oh, fuck. Yo. Very aggressive signals, that's kind of unusual. Yeah, in Remake, my big problem is that the enemy AI is, not even, like, bad in terms of, like, how it moves or how aggressive or not aggressive it is, but I think, like, the enemy movements across different enemies are too similar. They are different, like, they're not the same. And they're, like, a loose replication of these games, but they're not perfect, and they feel a little bit more generic. In some ways, it feels like they Streets of Rage 3 to every enemy type, which makes sense because like the premise of the gameplay in Remake follows 3 a lot. But I think the game would have benefited from like a higher variety in enemy AI. At least it would have made like those combinations of enemies that are like across the different games a bit more dynamic. That's my take on it, though. Oh, and why the fuck is Grand Upper not invincible? It's like the point of the move. You can't just get rid of that. They tried that in Streets of Rage 4 and immediately realized that's not how you can make the move good. There's just like no way to make this move worth a shit if it's not invincible. I think that's one of the most important things about it. Oh god. Oh no. Oh, the other worst thing about 4 is the Big Ben room. I did not input forward there. I greatly dislike the Big Ben room in the final stage. It's, dare I say it, quite bad. Which is unfortunate, because the rest of that level's good. I like every other second I'm in that stage, despite how fucked up it is. I think it's fun. But you get to like the other... You get to the Big Ben room and you're just like... Oh. I want to blitz so bad. Oh, never mind. We're still not at 8 lives. Wow, that's impressive. Oh. Hey, can we like... Oh. That might be the one thing that's worse about this game compared to 1. You can't break being grabbed from behind, which is really annoying when that's all the biker enemies do. They just circle around you and basically put you in like 300 years of hit stun. You can't do anything. I think you can defensive special, but not right away. It's quite annoying. Did this work? So here's the trick. Yeah, if you don't scroll the jet onto the screen, he won't show up. Unfortunately, I got suplexed into the fucking trigger for him, so... Unfortunate. L-boss. I wanted the blitz! Okay. No! Oh, Axel. You're so weak! Oh. Oh yeah, cool. There we go. I was like, he's eventually gonna run right into it. No way he won't. Alright, time to lose all of our lives on stage 7 elevator. Everybody's favorite screen. But despite everything, I do like stage 7 elevator. I talk about it like this, but I think it's one of my favorite parts of the game. I think it's just like straight fucked up. Like there's not much else to say about it. They just made it like that and said, yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, that's like the one level in Final Fight I'm not looking forward to learning. The industrial area level with the fire? Ugh. Ugh. Not a fan. If you know anybody who is, though, that's good for them. That entire level just, like, fucks with me. I feel like the Rolento fight is honestly the least annoying part of that stage, which is pretty ridiculous given, like, Rolento's history in Street Fighter. I hate the bikers in this game. You're evil. Get another one up. No! There we go. I wouldn't take it so slow, but it's so risky to fight more than one enemy at once on the screen, which is why I completely forgot there was one more whip lady here. And now I'm about to show you why it's so bad. Yeah, oh yeah. You needed a visual to understand like how terrible this situation is. Oh! Can we kill him? Yeah! The shitty slam throw. It's good for damage. Oh, here it is. Absolute fucking banger song, by the way. I love Expander. Not my favorite on the soundtrack, but so good. It's notable they made the first, like, 3 notes of this song the loading sound for, like, the 3DS Streets of Rage 2 re-release. Like, the first... You get to hear, like, the first 3 notes of this. And me, personally, I know that, like, inspires Fight or Flight. Like, I hear this song for, like, 0.5 seconds, and I'm like, oh. My god! I got fucking infinited! Cornball enemy! They normally don't have this many. What? Whoa. Whoa, I've never seen a failure to vault forward. That's interesting. Oh, fuck. Whoa, that ninja was freaking out. What the fuck is he doing? What? That actually distracted me so much I missed the tech. He's vibrating. Oh. This is kind of like the East Room, because you just have to bump everybody until they die. Oh my god. Like, this is like bump combat in my brain. This room is what people think having ADHD is like. It's not, but people think it is. Oh my god, help! There we go. Okay, I think there's kickboxers now. And bikers, which is just like... worst words uttered by humans. Oh my god. Batsu game room. This is the Batsu game screen. Ooh! Clutch! Never mind. Whoa, whoa. Wah! Wah! Scary. Okay. Okay, it's actually going pretty well. This room normally goes far worse for me. We're coming up to the actual worst part, though. It's, not even close in my head. Oh my, wow, that meaty! They can't anti-air you in 4. It's not like that. Can they? I don't think they have that, do they? Like, I think they have, like, an upward kick, but they don't do it, like, for that. Oh, Christ. Oh, God. Oh! What the fuck? No, 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 no. Okay. It's not that, like, the Big Bens are that bad. It's that they're accompanied by this guy with the knife. The knife guy! The knife guy is the worst. That guy is the MVP of just being a dickhead. What?! What the fuck?! I don't like what I'm seeing. What the hell? Oh, they gotta kill this asshole. Oh. This is more proof the juggler enemy was just a fucking mistake. Like, they should've just deleted this dude. They should've fucking never put him in a video game. What is this? Stop that jab with! I need to spawn more knives. There we go. Can you get some more? Don't pick it up, you dickhead. No, no, no. Produce another one. I need to see if the knife strat works. Did they fix that bug? We got like 5 here. I think that's enough. So, ideally, the robots cannot hit me now. Oh, yes. We got it. Yup. So this is a cool bug. If you have a weapon, if you have enough knives spawned, these bosses cannot hit you. So yeah, this just does... It's awesome. It's the best strategy for this. Not that this is a really hard fight anyways, but... it is significantly less annoying. Yeah, so all of their attacks, Sauna, are coded as, like, weapons in the game internally. And if there's too many weapons on the screen, the game just doesn't let weapons do anything. It's like an object limit. Now, why all of their attacks are coded as weapons, I don't know. But they are. It's not really a matter of understanding why it's the way it is, but that is just how it works, thankfully. They can still shock you. Yeah, they can shock you, but they can't spike ball you, and they can't laser you. So it's an improvement. Because the shock... Okay. It's a great song, by the way. Again, using the title theme for the final area is really fucking cool. I do love when games do that. I think that's sick. Cool. Yeah, so the bosses have no wake-up invuln. You can kind of cheese them. Oh! I heard the alarm. Somebody should make that yell like they're fucking like phone alarm or something. If anybody wants to do that, please send me a video. I think that'd be a hella funny, like, door alarm, too. Like, somebody rings your doorbell and like, here's Joe! I'd, like, look up on instinct. I'd, like, turn my head up. But yeah, since they have no wake-up invuln... Oh, also, Shad, that video you sent me mentioned this too, but they forgot to mention something even funnier. Which is that there is one boss that has wake-up invuln, and of course it's this guy. Wait, what the fuck? That's not the right palette. He's supposed to be blue, isn't he? Did they fuck that up? Oh, whatever. I'm pretty sure this guy has wake-up invuln still. For some reason. He does, yeah. He's supposed to be blue! I swear he's supposed to be blue. Am I misremembering? No, I'm not, right? Oh god, I'm gonna think about this forever. Yeah, I got it. I did it. Yeah, I knew it. I knew he's supposed to be like papyrus blue or whatever. You're blue now. Funny Undertale joke. Yo, I think Gil just straight up forgot. G Soros was like, okay, I got classic mode working, it's fine. I was like, I guess he's not blue. Anyways, no! Asshole. Asshole, 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 asshole. And we're coming up. Oh, they healed me twice. What the hell? How generous. Oh god, here we go. Alright. Oh, fuck. Already off to a rough start here. Ah! That did too early. I used to have that, like, super unlocked. I messed up my blitz. There we go. Ah! Shit. Ah! I mistimed it again, but it worked out, I guess. No. Well, he got it anyways. He got what he wanted. Yep. All right, I have 2 lives to do this, which is not that bad, all things considered. I don't like this fight very much either. Are you kidding? I think this is still better than the final boss of 3. Because there's like at least a threat that he'll hit me. Ooh, we finished it with the worst move. Let's go. 1 CC. Yes. Easy game on hard. We did it. Oh, well, that's new era. Ah! Playing things on a Nintendo Switch Pro controller hurts. It hurts a lot. Alright. So I was practicing American Streets of Rage 3 with 3 Axel, and it's just not gonna happen. Can confirm this right now. I'm gonna tell you all, I'm sorry. There's like 1 character I'm gonna try it with. I'm gonna give it a try, but it's not gonna be Axel. I thought maybe it would be him. No. They actually nerfed him in that version too. They made his 3rd jab shitty. I'm just gonna play Bare Knuckle 3. As I ought to. Unless there's... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna check romhacking.net. Dude. Look, I can't analyze Sketch Turner over the years, because, like, what would I even do? That hack, and then what else? Nobody's put him in Streets of Rage 1. Nobody's hacking that game. I think Axel's the easiest. Also, I don't see this hack that makes the game like the Japanese one here. Maybe it's some... Let me see if I can't find it. I mean, like, it's entirely possible. Okay. Okay, that's... not quite what I meant. Well, alright, well, anyways. This is, Bare Knuckle 3. For the not last time in this project, for the record. Far from it. We're gonna be here quite a bit more, actually. Well, maybe not quite a bit. You know, we got what? Dr. Zan, Skate? So I guess... Oh, no, sorry, wait, no, Rue as well. I forgot. Alright, so Axel in this game, once again, completely different character. So because everybody has a run, he's a little quicker. They pumped up his jab speed, like, a lot. Which is kind of wild to think about, because his jab is already really fast. His throws still suck. This move is weird. Does, like, no damage. It is very invincible, though. So basically, you're never using Grand Upper for damage, but you can use it to launch enemies off of platforms, which is quite good at, because of the way it, like, sends them to space. And the iframes on it are pretty okay. For damage, as far as specials go, you want to do the rolling hooks. Oh yeah, he has the Super Axel code. I think they buffed the damage on Headbutt Throw, and they made it a little better in this game. Yeah, I'm playing this on hard, so you know it's not going to be a complete and total cakewalk. But this game on hard is still much easier than the American version. Bro is called Nasty? He is. That's kind of funny, isn't it? Imagine being named Nasty. Like it's not some nickname or something. Oh yeah, they did buff Axel in one really funny way. I'll be showing that off when I can. But his jabs are basically like the best they've ever been in this game. In terms of speed, it is truly unrivaled. I don't know why they gave this guy 3 stars in power, though. He's pretty weak in this game. Although he looks horribly ugly in this game. Okay, let's be honest, it's kind of most of the game, really. Quad looks worse than Streets of Rage 2, it's just like the mantra. Axel in particular, though, he looks like the, honey, it's time for your dick flattening face. This game in general is quite weird, though. Oh. Ah, headbutt throw, how dare you. I must say Axel doing less damage in this game. Maybe I'm only saying this because, like, it is noticeable.